Now, Billie, you guys know that I don't really cover pop stars on this channel, but when that pop star has something to say about hip-hop, you're goddamn right I'm gonna make a video on it. You've seen the title of this video and you might have already heard about the situation, but let's not waste any more time and let's talk about it. The one and only Billie Eilish had something to say about hip-hop in an interview with Vogue that came out the other day. Her comments regarding hip-hop has been heavily discussed on social media, especially on Twitter these past few days, and if you follow me over there, you know that I gave my brief 2 cents on this whole thing. XXL posted this tweet right here reporting on some comments Billie Eilish had about the state of hip-hop, and the responses started flooding in. Everyone had something to say about this. But let's check out the actual interview and let's factor in the actual context of what Billie Eilish said overall, and let's not have this conversation based off of one headline. By the way, not to go on a rant or anything, but that's one really big issue I have with, of course, media in general, but in this case, hip-hop media. No shot at XXL. I get a lot of the news-related topics I talk about from them, but let's address the obvious. They picked the most attention-grabbing part from the whole segment of her interview where she said what she said about hip-hop, and they tweeted it out. Now yeah, of course, the full interview is linked on the tweet, but let's keep it 100. Maybe 5% of everyone who saw that are gonna actually click on the article, and then an even lesser percentage will even bother finding the original article and read that. And this leaves the whole context of what she was talking about out of the conversation, and that's just not right, man. I know anything won't change in terms of how the media in general operates from me saying this, but I don't want you, okay, if you're listening to this, I don't want you to fall for the headline trap. You know what I'm talking about. You see a headline on Twitter of something a rapper said as an example, and you base your whole opinion on that little headline. Don't do that, don't do that. Anyway, let's check out what she said. So pretty much before she said what she said, she was talking about her own music, and she was making a comparison between creating fictional stories in her songs, comparing that to some of the people she admires musically. As an example, Tyler the Creator's name is mentioned, and then right here, as you can see, she says, just because the story isn't real doesn't mean that it can't be important. That was our response to the comparisons she was making earlier, and then that's when she says this. There's a difference between lying in a song and writing a story. There are tons of songs where people are just lying. There's a lot of that in rap right now from people that I know who rap. It's like, I got my AK-47 and I'm like, what? You don't have a gun and all my bitches? I'm like, which bitch? That's posturing, and that's not what I'm doing. Now, on one hand, she's kind of right. She's definitely not lying. On the other hand, I don't agree with her. There's a lot of surface level, perspective here. What exactly am I talking about when I say that? Let's acknowledge the fact that hip-hop is one of the biggest genres out right now, if not the biggest. It was officially labeled as the biggest one in the United States at the beginning of 2018, and that's of course according to real stats. Now, I'm not sure how, things are right now, but I think we all can agree on the fact that it's even bigger right now. The thing about hip-hop being such a big genre is, of course, there's gonna be a lot of not so good parts about it. I mean, it's huge. The outcome isn't always gonna be pure. Billie Eilish singled out hip-hop in this conversation while simultaneously lifting herself up. With a statement like this, she's purposely drawing some kind of line and separation between her and rap, even though the way I see it, at least, is she has a lot of ties to the culture. I think that's actually why the majority of people got so upset with what she said. Let's get this straight. There's a lot of liars and posers in every single genre on this entire damn planet. Hip-hop is just so easy to point the fingers at because it's so big. And number two, there is in fact a lot of shoot a nigga in the face. By the way, don't worry, I'm black, okay? There's a lot of shoot a nigga in the face kind of rappers, but then again, on the other hand, there's a lot of rappers who are the complete opposite of that. You just have to kind of find them, right? And then again, let's not forget that this has always been the case with hip-hop. Topics like this have always been a part of the culture. I mean, the one and only Tupac talked about topics like this. It just wasn't as frequent and as exaggerated as it is today. Of course, Pac was way more than that, but the point still stands. It's not like this is a new thing. Me personally, I'm not really a fan of superficial statements like this because the result is always the same. The more vague you are, especially when it comes to voicing your opinion on such a controversial topic, the bigger the chance you're gonna become a target. And also, it doesn't help her case that she's a young, white, and privileged pop star saying this. I'm not really saying anything you didn't know though, right? I really don't think the backlash she's getting is justified for the sole purpose that she's white and who told her to give her opinion about hip-hop. The last time I checked, there's never been a sticker price on if you can voice your opinion on something or not. In this case, I think Billie Eilish was just the wrong messenger. That's all. This conversation is actually way bigger than just Billie Eilish, and that's why I wanted to bring this up. One thing I've noticed is if people feel like your opinion is unsolicited, meaning no one asked for it, and on top of that, it's a vague take in relation to the controversial topic you're talking about, most of the time you will get backlash for it, especially especially if you are such a big name like Billie. I don't think there's any limitations on who can give their opinion on hip-hop and who can't. All I'm saying is don't do it for the sake of it, and make sure you not only stand on what you're talking about, just make sure it's very specific. That's all I have to say. What do you think about Billie Eilish's comment about hip-hop? Do you agree with her? Do you not agree with her? Definitely let me know in the comment section below, and let's have a discussion about this.